NBC Tonight. You voted. Now be there for the America's Got Talent results show live.
We have an incredible show lined up for you.
Get there early at 9, 8 Central to find out who moves on to the finals.
That's the million-dollar question. Who did America pick?
Then, an incredible performance by Cirque du Soleil's Zumanity. Plus,
the Big Hasselhoff will sing.
All new America's Got Talent results show live. Starts tonight at 9, 8 Central only on NBC.
Catch an all-new Windfall tonight at 10, 9 Central on NBC.
Who's America? NBC Nightly News tonight.
Honey, I'm home.
If you're looking to make your home even better, here's a bonus from Levitt's. This week, take advantage of our $200 bonus bucks coupon. $200 off any living room, bedroom, dining room, or kids' room. Just another reason why
you love it at Levitt's.
The Disneyland Resort is celebrating its 50th anniversary. Spin Blast, score, repeat on Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters. Log on to NBC4.TV for more Disneyland doings.
Hi, everyone. I'm Fritz Coleman. It's summertime again, and we're thinking about saving money, energy, and the environment. Fortunately, FlexShorePower.org offers hundreds of simple ways to do it. So visit FlexShorePower.org. Thanks for flexing your power.
The stars choose access.
Ellen's Dancing with the Stars. First up, Jason Biggs and Minnie Driver.
I don't know who's going to win, but let's just say one of us dances every day.
Then, Dancing with the Stars champion Drew Lachey. Next, Ellen.
Today at 4 on NBC4.
Today at 5, a prickly problem. Hundreds of dying sea urchins wash into Southland tide pools. What's wrong with the water that's killing so many? A live report. Then, help for a painful injury that often strikes new moms. Dr. Bruce with the treatment to keep you a hands-on mother. Today at 5.
Megan Mullally is coming to daytime.
You're watching The Local Story, Summer Edition. Now, here's Ross Becker.
It's 3 p.m. We're live in the Channel 4 newsroom. We're on the second floor here in Burbank. We've got security guards downstairs. We've got locked doors and special keys everywhere. It seems it's a lot safer in here than it is, well, in some restaurants in the San Fernando Valley these days. What's going on? Did you hear about this? 200 now, armed robberies in the last 2 years, probably, maybe the same guys, or at least copycat armed robbers in the Valley, hitting restaurants. Overnight, it was the Valley Inn. Police at the door with guns drawn. The Valley Inn in Sherman Oaks, a legendary Valley eatery. Last night with patrons running for their safety out the front door. Inside, 2 men with handguns wearing ski masks, taking money from the register and the customers, and then when the cops... You'll see them here at the door as these customers keep coming out. The cops will finally go inside. By the time they did go inside, the gunmen were gone again. Another notch in their criminal belts, if it is the same guys who struck before. And, well, it's a frightening situation.
Finished having dinner and were paying the bill, and all of a sudden heard some loud shouting, and first thought someone had been hurt or, burned in the kitchen. A couple of the employees ran out of the main dining room toward the kitchen area, and then there was more commotion and someone started yelling and shouting, and it sounded like someone was arguing, and instead, next thing we know, as far as I could see, one robber came right into the main dining room with a mask on his face, waving a gun, and told us all to put our money and our jewelry on the tables, and then something spooked him and he disappeared.
Imagine how scary that is when you're just trying to have dinner. I want to introduce you to somebody. This is Boris Brodetsky. Hi, Boris. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you. You're the owner of the Valley Inn. You were there last night.
Exactly. I was there.
Now, you just told me that the police told you that this armed robbery at the Valley Inn, your restaurant, was number 200. Where were you standing when these guys came face to face with you?
I was in front, and I heard commotions in the bar. And I just wanted to check, what's going on there. And, right away, the armed robber came out and just pulled a gun towards me and says, drop to the floor. So I just heard the command and I just dropped myself to the floor.
And you were?
And he said, don't move, don't do anything foolish. And then, he went back to the bar and to the dining area, yelling and screaming, shouting. just shut up, don't move, and put your money on the table.
Must have been frightening.
It was.
Did you think you were going to get shot?
I didn't think. I was scared.
Yeah.
I was scared. It was a very scared moment.
And obviously the Valley Inn, a lot of people come back all the time to eat there.
Yeah, it's like a family.
I was going to say, afraid for a lot of people in your restaurant.
Yeah, it was. I don't know how they're going to react, but hopefully, today at lunchtime, lots of people came, and for the support of the restaurant.
Yeah.
We had a big crowd.
Now, are you going to do anything different? You got 200 restaurant armed robberies. They've already hit you. Hopefully, lightning doesn't strike twice. But can you do anything different in the restaurant to make sure that it's safer?
We will try. We will try to listen to what police says, you know, and just do all the precautions what we can.
What about these guys? What do you say to them? I mean, they hit you right where it hurts in the pocketbook, but they also hit you in the heart and the head, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They did. And Papa and Mom restaurant business is very hard in the first place, and they just hitting us right where it hurts.
Yeah. They got quite a bit. I don't want to ask you exactly how much, but they got quite a bit of money, I imagine. Yeah, thousands. Yeah. They got thousands.
I don't know exactly how much.
I know you've been in business since 77, right?
No, the restaurant was open since 1947.
Okay.
I just owned this place for 8 years.
For 8 years?
Yeah.
Okay. So you go back tonight. What are you going to say to people about the Valley Inn?
That we will try to have them, and just give them the most comfort and just trying to do our best, to make place safe.
And now these guys are still out there. What do you say to them?
What can I say to them? They're not going to listen to me anyways.
No, but they're not.
But hopefully, they're going to stop this nonsense.
Yeah, yeah. Just don't do it again.
Don't do it again,
Don't
please.
hurt somebody else.
That's right.
Boris, thank you so much. Boris, the owner of the Valley Inn, appreciate it, and we're glad you're okay. That's the best part. Thanks much. All right. All right, we're going to take a look at something else. Let's take a trip now to the border, okay? President Bush today at the Rio Grande, the dividing line between the U.S. and Mexico. President Bush there visiting the Border Patrol and the National Guard units who are working to try to stop the flow of illegal immigrants into the United States. Some say it is working. In fact, some farmers are complaining that they are running short of cheap labor to harvest crops or to do field work. And that brings us back home to the hills and the backyards of Southern California. That's right, clearing brush here is a big business, and it is critical to fire protection, as we know. But how we do that and who does that, well, that is part of our local story this afternoon. And here's Tony Ginyard. Tony, you've got a bunch of...
Stop laughing.
Okay, yeah, you're
Stop
out with
laughing.
the goats today. Tony, where are you, and why in heaven's name are you standing in a field full of goats?
Well, actually, I'm in the Horizon Hills community of Malibu. I'm standing here because we wanted to go where the fire prevention measure was going. This is the fire prevention. This is Dwayne. Hey, Dwayne. I've become friends with some of these goats over the past few days. Here's the issue, Ross. A few weeks ago, we went out to Benedict Canyon. There was a fire there. While I was there, I met with some of the homeowners, and brush clearance was a huge issue for all of them. Then I met a woman, Sarah Bunton, who is the owner of a business out of Oregon, Nanny and Billy's, and it deals with vegetative management. Just take a look. Connie, go ahead. Show the people what we're dealing with. 250 goats that have been grazing, and I don't want to say grazing. They've been working. It's about brush clearance, it's about fire prevention, and it's coming to a backyard or field near you.
Come on, babies! Come on, goats! Come on, goats!
Just call Sarah Bunton the mother of vegetative management. Translation, she owns 250 goats that are hired to do the work that is often difficult, if not impossible, for man to do. These goats aren't just eating, they're working. Walking 4 to 5 miles an hour, eating up to an acre a day. They're what you consider a firefighting tool.
They can't bring a bulldozer in here. They've got a creek down in there. Man can't go in there because it's very hazardous for them to be carrying a chainsaw or a weed eater to go down. So this is really the only tool. Cost is, this on a hand crew, if they did try to do it, it's probably upwards of $3,000 to $5,000 an acre. And goat cost is probably 1/3 of that.
We have been friends before, so you don't have to do that. So just one at a time. One at a time.
Wolfgang Knauer and Herbert Kolischer are 2 of 3 men responsible for applying for and receiving a grant to pay for this fire prevention measure.
3 of us are old-timers here. We've lived here 40 years or 30 years, depending, and we have seen fires. We have suffered from fires.
At times, it was tough convincing residents the goats were a good option.
They like the greenery, they like the trees, but they also are sometimes endanger their own property, even though they are very beautiful. But when fire comes, the beauty disappears and the tragedy starts.
There are a lot of people here who have never seen a fire. The majority of the population here is relatively young. And so we old-timers, we felt obliged to get on with a program.
Once you have lived through a brush fire threatening your house, you realize just how helpless you are. And these men and the goats are working to make sure homeowners maintain a defensible space. LA County Fires, Jay Lopez.
By having the goats just eat the vegetation, the fine vegetation, allows also to keep some vegetation on site, because you remove too much, now you have the danger of mud slides.
If it does look like they're impacting an area, we move them through or we don't take them back.
There's definitely a science to all of this. In fact, Sarah said the goats have worked for them for about 8 years. She and her husband got their first goat for a wedding gift. And now you see it's kind of multiplied and multiplied. If you think this is a laughing matter, if you think it's a joke, consider this. These goats have been to Claremont, San Pedro, all along, working, clearing brush. And you could possibly see additional cities adding the goats to the payroll because they're doing some jobs. But there are some men just down the road at the Malibu Labor Exchange who say they aren't going down without a fight as far as competition. We'll talk more about that a little later on in the show.
You know, Tony, it occurs to me, you think of those old Western movies and you see the herds of horses and the horses that are used by cowboys for years to run the West. And now we have a different kind of herd doing a different job in the West, don't we?
Yeah, and I was actually told that years and years and years ago in California, they were using goats for just this very thing. So we've seen the cycle completed. You see them being used more and more now. Most of our viewers have probably heard about this story, but they haven't heard a little bit of the personal information about the couple that is involved with this business, and I'll tell you more about that, too, a little later.
Tony Ginyard, thanks a lot. Be careful where you step, okay?
Thanks a lot.
All right. His only means of getting around, this is a horrible story, only means of getting around in the outside world is this, well, this specialized wheelchair. Turns out, though, someone stole 15-year-old Jordan's lifeline, and we're going to be talking with his mother about what happened, both shocked and saddened by it. Who knows, maybe you're going to be able to help solve this crime when we come back. This is the Local Story Summer Edition. Stories are a little bit different, a little bit longer, a little more heart, and you see them right here at 3 o'clock live from the Channel 4 newsroom. Well, we have warts and all, I guess you might say. We'll be back in just a minute.
It's the big one at Kohl's, our biggest sale of the season, with 2 big days of savings plus power hours. Night Owl save extra Friday, early bird save extra Saturday. Like 40 to 60% on girls and juniors collections, 50 to 60% off all girls sew and Sonoma fashion jeans and tops, and 50% off bras. Plus, take an extra 15% off shoes, boots, and sandals, already 20 to 50% off. And an extra 10% off all kitchen electrics, already 10 to 50% off. It's the big one this Friday and Saturday only. Kohl's, expect great things.
Knutson cottage doubles or yogurt? Well, since Knutson cottage doubles has half the sugar of yogurt, the real dilemma is what to do with that yogurt. Cottage cheese with real fruit topping that's half the sugar of yogurt. Knutson cottage doubles.
When you're entertaining, there seems to be one thing you never have enough of: beverages. That's why I go to Spartan Final. You can't beat the selection. Sodas, water, wine, beer, energy, and sports drinks. And because of the low warehouse prices, I get to stock up on everything I need, and then I get to enjoy my party
Save on Coke or Pepsi. 4 6-packs just $5.99. Miller Coors Butter Tecate Beer 30-pack only $16.99. Get smart. Smart and Final. The smaller, faster warehouse store.
What do you want for lunch, hon?
I'll have a deluxe burger.
Okay.
Is that pastrami?
You want pastrami?
I'll have that burger, actually.
The burger?
Pastrami looks good.
You want pastrami?
Unless you think I should get the burger. Or you could do pastrami.
Pastrami Burgers. Back at Carl's Jr.
Ellen's Dancing with the Stars. First up, Jason Biggs and Minnie Driver each take on the dancing prowess of Ellen.
I don't know who's going to win, but let's just say one of us dances every day.
Who do you think will win first prize? Then, Dancing with the Stars champion Drew Lachey shows them how it's done. Plus, when Ellen said bobsled and luge, Sherry Shepherd said...
Who told me to get on the bobsled?
Next, Ellen.
Today at 4 on NBC 4.
All right, we want to do a follow-up on a heartbreaking story that we showed you. I think it was last week, maybe the week before. The LA County Sheriff's Department now says that it will not charge the parents of a 10-month-old baby who drowned in a bathtub. I don't know if you remember this story. It was during the heat wave, about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. The child died after his parents put him in the bathtub with his brother and then turned on the shower to try to cool them off. Well, then they left him alone. It was just a few minutes, but the baby drowned. Now, homicide detectives say the baby's death was a tragic accident. They're not going to charge them. That's the follow-up. We wanted to make sure you knew that. I want to introduce you to somebody else right now. This is Vielka Bush. Hi, Vielka. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Let me tell you Vielka's story here for just a minute. Vielka has a son named Jordan Godfrey, and Jordan has cerebral palsy. He is also mildly mentally disabled, and he needs to be in a wheelchair. And you had a great wheelchair, a very special wheelchair for him. About a week ago, the wheelchair was out in the front yard, and somebody took it. Somebody stole that wheelchair.
They did.
What was first of all, your reaction when you walked out on the front porch and that wheelchair was gone?
I was devastated because my son is a very active child, and we do a lot together as a family. We bowl, we swim, we camp, we do a lot of things. And at this point, I feel like my child has been robbed of his opportunity to live life to its fullest. I'm a working class parent. I can't afford to replace another chair.
What would another chair cost? This is a very special motorized wheelchair, right?
The chair is actually around $5,000 to $8,000.
Wow.
And it's hard to come up with. That chair was a new chair. It wasn't even a year old.
Sure.
So I'm devastated.
Now,
he's devastated.
Why would you leave it outside? I have to ask.
Now, what we do is my mother, she takes care of Jordan for me when I work.
Okay.
And she cannot lift the wheelchair in and out of the car. So what she does is she rolls him up to the car, allows him to get in, then they leave it parked close to our porch near the driveway, so when they return, that they can get him back out. And this is something we've done for years. We lived in the neighborhood since before I was born.
Yeah.
So everyone in the neighborhood knows us. So it had to be someone who was outside of our neighborhood network.
What did Jordan say?
Jordan is a little disturbed about it. I mean,
Sure.
He's operating in his old wheelchair. It only has one footrest. The seat is broken. So he's just not happy because he can't get in and out and do the things that he normally likes to do.
So what is your thought? Who would take some, and why would they need it even?
I don't know, and my God's honest hope is that whoever got the wheelchair was somebody who really needed it. But it's sad to me that their gain is our loss.
And you've talked to the sheriff's department.
Yes.
Obviously, it's a grand theft if it's worth $5,000 to $8,000.
Yes, it is.
Are they any hope they can get it back?
We haven't heard anything, but I'm still hoping.
Sure.
If nothing else, hopefully we can do something to get him another one. I just don't want him to have to be in the home all the time. He can't even go to school at this point.
Just in case you came in, Vielka Bush and her son Jordan Godfrey, they had this wheelchair stolen from their front yard. So at this point, how does he get around? He's got that other wheelchair, but it's just not working?
It's an old wheelchair, and he's very much larger than he was. So he's kind of like in, but really out of the wheelchair.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't really, it's not very operable at all.
Do you think the police are doing what everything they can to get this back?
I'm sure they are. I
Sure.
think this is something that would touch everyone's heart.
What's going to bring it back, though, and I know we were talking on the telephone here with the Channel 4 people, is that somebody's going to have to come forward, aren't they? Somebody's going to have to see this in a garage somewhere next door and say, you know, I saw the guys next door rolling this thing in. I wondered what they were doing with it, and then make a phone call?
I hope they do. And the chair actually has Jordan's name written across the back of it.
Wow, that's kind of cool, isn't it?
I hope
I mean,
so.
this
I
is
hope
a
it would be
special
something
thing
that
for
would be
him.
identifying.
You know, when we don't understand it because we're mobile, but when you're not as mobile, this becomes your second home, doesn't it?
Exactly. Exactly.
Is that how it's almost like it's invading your home.
It is. It definitely is. I feel robbed as a parent. And I feel, you know, guilty because at this point in time, I cannot afford to get him what he needs.
Is there a way in the future you can get him a new chair other than saving money? Does Medicare, is there something that can help in that way?
You know what? I'm trying all avenues.
Okay.
I don't know what all avenues are out there for me, but I am resourceful. I try as hard as I can to find whatever's out there to help me make it.
You know, we were just talking with a gentleman who was robbed last night, held at gunpoint. Crime affects all of us in different ways. He lost money. He lost a little bit of his dignity when he had to lay on the floor as the owner of a restaurant.
Really?
In this case, you lost a very important chair. Jordan lost his freedom. It's not just a crime statistic, is it, that we're dealing with in this stuff?
It isn't. And, you know, as a parent, you always feel like, okay, if I'm robbed, you know, I will be angry about that. But I'm angry because my son, he doesn't have an opportunity to go out and earn more money to repair or replace his own wheelchair.
Right.
And that's devastating to me.
He's at the mercy of these
He's at the
criminals.
mercy. He's at the mercy.
Well, here's a phone number for everyone to, this is the Linwood Sheriff's Station.
Yes, it
is. If you've seen anything, anywhere, if you've seen anything at all, 323-567-8121. As a matter of fact, we have a card. We can, Scott, maybe you can get a shot of that card. Michael, why don't you hand me the card? Yeah, we have, yeah, oh, well, we got to show the photos, too. I'm sorry. This is the phone number. I'm just going to lay this here. Bianca, if you can come around this side, Scott, too. There's the phone number, first of all. You write that down at home, 323-567-8121. 323-567-8121. And as Vielka said, if you saw a neighbor, if you saw somebody with this chair, that's the number you call. Now, we can get these photographs. This is Jordan. There we go.
Birthday.
It's on his 15th birthday in his chair on the left, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh, and there's Mom's picture.
That's Mom and Jordan together.
over
We
here.
love each other.
Okay.
He's my favorite person.
All right. And we have some other pictures. Let me just move these here. There's Jordan, all dressed up, going out to eat. There's a nice, tight picture of the excitement on his face. In the chair, again. Is that the
Bowling.
same chair? Oh,
Yeah, that's
bowling.
the
You went
same
out
chair.
bowling?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you know what? Again, I hope someone does come forward and knows where this chair is, can help Jordan get back on the streets again, if you will.
I would love
And when he does, can we come and visit with him?
Yes, you can.
All right. Thank you so much.
you.
And I hope this has a happy ending for
I do
everybody.
too. Thank
All
you
right.
much.
Thanks much. All right. What are we doing next? Let's take a break. We're gonna take a break. I'm gonna stand up. Can I do that? Okay, we're going to stand up. See, sometimes we have all these cameras in this, and there's one there, and there's one there, and I never really know where they are, but that's, you know, it makes this job real interesting. We're going to take a break. The Local Story Summer Edition's coming right back. We're going to talk to Dr. Bruce Hensel about something that, well, maybe tighten up your abs just a little bit. We'll be right back.
Everybody's world is unique, and AT&T delivers the right combination of services to connect you to your world.
Well, I have my Singular for when I'm out, and that's always. My home phone for when I'm here, plus email. It's perfect.
AT&T offers you the right way to connect. And right now, you can get a $120 Visa gift card and a Razr phone free by calling or going online during this offer.
Okay, you've got her mother. She lives in Atlanta. Plus, I'm on the road some, she travels. Even with all that, I still get a really great price.
Whether you've got family all over the nation or just all over the house, with AT&T, you can choose what's right for you.
We need minutes by the truckload. Plus, they live on the internet and the phone.
I'll get it. Hello?
My point exactly.
What's just right for you? Call now or go online today for our best prices and find out how you can get a $120 Visa gift card and a Razr phone free. Only from the new AT&T. Your world delivered.
5 years ago, Leia gave birth to our twin boys, James and Travis, and every single moment that we've been with them has been incredible. Just so much fun to run around with them. They're like my little team.
I can't even imagine my life before children. They bring me so much joy, but in my heart, I always wanted a little girl, and she's added so much to all our lives. She's an angel.
If infertility has kept you or someone you know from starting a family, please call Pacific Reproductive. We can help.
Wow, is that a stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut?
Yep, the pizza you eat backwards.
Pizza Hut? Pizza stuffed crust, wow.
Backwards is back. The stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut. Melted, delicious cheese stuffed inside a golden brown crust. You just gotta eat it backwards. And it's only $9.99 for a large one topping. That's money back in your pocket. For the pizza you eat backwards, go for the good stuff. Need more pizza? Add any medium one topping for only $5 more.
Hi, I'm the person who didn't save hundreds of dollars by switching car insurance. Yep, I'm the guy. Must be, because every day they tell me about a bazillion people who switched on TV, radio, billboards.
They show me entire stadiums worth of people who switched.
But Progressive Direct shows you side-by-side comparisons of competitors' rates and services, so you can see if their services are worth the savings. Those gazillion people should call Progressive, because no one likes to be wrong. Think easier. Think Progressive.
We are back live in the newsroom. You know, I do something, it's probably very silly, but as I walk around or I ride in the car, I try to tighten my abs because I'm always, you know, you're always worried about, hey, now, see, they're whistling at me in the newsroom. But, you know, everybody is worried about gaining weight, getting your abs tight. And then today, I'm told that I'm going to talk to Dr. Bruce Hensel this afternoon about something called thermage, which basically doesn't take any exercise, I think, in order to get tight abs, or tighter abs, let me put it that way. Dr. Bruce, you know, I was always taught that if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. And is this something that has any legitimacy at all in terms of tightening your abs?
Theoretically, it's got some legitimacy. Thermage is supposed to work by using radio frequency waves, which are not painful, on your skin. The layers of the skin and the layers beneath the skin are supposed to do two things in result. Number one, it's supposed to tighten immediately, probably from inflammation, and it's supposed to stimulate collagen. Now, I got to tell you, over the years, we've heard this about laser. We've heard it about a couple of cellulite procedures. I don't really believe it works in the long run, but theoretically, it makes a lot of sense, and a lot of people claim that it works. I just would like to see some controlled studies on it.
You know, we talked the other day with Kelly Bliss, who had a problem with her weight, and we talked about trying things and not having it work and then falling back into this pattern again. This could be one of those things where you get your hopes up that it works, but you really should just end up doing some crunches, right?
Well, it would be really nice. Now, you got to keep in mind, crunches will tighten the muscles, but if you've got too much fat or skin, that's not going to get rid of it. Diet is even more important than exercise. I'd love to tell you that this was the magic bullet.
Sure.
And theoretically, it makes some sense. And, you know, as they say, it can't hoit.
Yeah.
One way to keep it from hoiting, make sure the doctor has experience with it. And if they're using technicians to do this, please to make sure to see their licenses as well. You know, I've seen so many people doing laser who don't have experience, so many people doing things like this who don't have experience. To protect yourself by getting the potential benefits, and really they're only potential without the risks.
You know, Dr. Bruce, it's good to have you around because sometimes we hear this stuff when we run out, and we always need to be careful.
Yeah, well,
hopeful but skeptical.
Yeah, you don't want to be a naysayer because it's not bad to try anything, but there's really no magic cure. It takes time to put the weight on. It's going to take time to take it off.
Doctor, thank you. All right, we're going to come back in just a minute. I want to show you somebody who's standing by live. We're going to talk to him in a minute. Air Force Colonel Steve Lindsay, one of the astronauts on Discovery, the last mission that just came back. He's standing by live. We're going to find out what it's like to be in space. We're going to also find out what it's like to live the life of an astronaut. On the Local Story Summer Edition, hi, we'll be right back to you, Colonel.
The Health and Fitness Expo is returning to the Los Angeles Convention Center August 19th and 20th. A free, fun-filled event for the whole family, health screenings, and so much more. Don't miss the Health and Fitness Expo August 19th and 20th. For more information, visit NBC4.tv. Brought to you by Bally Total Fitness.
I'm gonna take you downtown.
You want some of this? You're talking to me. You better call the Boy Scouts and pack a lunch. It's gonna be an all-day jamboree.
You can't be the man with hair like this.
It's all about the Rogan power. Now what?
They're ready for the challenge. Are you?
Yeah! Woo!
Ready, set, lick, double stuff Oreo.
Looking for the perfect computer for back to school? Circuit City makes it simple. Right now at Circuit City, bring in any PC and get a free checkup, a $40 value. And save up to $320 on select desktops and notebooks after mail-in and instant savings. Like this HP Pavilion Notebook PC featuring Intel Centrino Duo mobile technology for just $849.99 after rebates. Circuit City.
Why should I let some mechanic work on my car when I can do it myself?
Why should I get some contractor to paint my house when I can do it?
But when I was hurt in a car wreck, there's no way I could deal with the insurance company on my own.
I got legal help, and I'm glad I did.
There are a lot of things you can do yourself, but to get the settlement you deserve, you need an experienced lawyer on your side. Call Jacoby & Myers Legal Network. Settle smart. Jacoby & Myers.
Knutson Cottage Doubles or yogurt? Well, since Knutson Cottage Doubles has half the sugar of yogurt, the real dilemma is what to do with that yogurt. Cottage cheese with real fruit topping that's half the sugar of yogurt. Knutson Cottage Doubles.
When we grow up, we all want to be astronauts or firefighters or something, maybe baseball players, I don't know, whatever it was. Well, we've got Air Force Colonel Stephen Lindsay on the end of a line right now. He calls Temple City his home. His parents still live in the San Gabriel Valley in Arcadia. Now, you've had 4 shuttle missions, and you just returned from space on July 17th, Colonel, on the 13-day Discovery mission. Thanks for joining us today.
Good to be here.
You know, years ago, and I'm going to give away my age, I did an interview with Sally Ride. And, of course, all the stuff around her being the first woman in space, talking about the technical aspects and the weightlessness. And she came down to one, and she said, Ross, stop. She says, it's just fun. Is that what it turns out to be in space, really? I mean, it's a big job. It's an important job. But it must be so much fun to be up in space.
You know, it is a lot of fun to be up in space. I've done it 4 times now, and every time I do something new and different, and it is fun, it is also a lot of work. I mean, we go up, and from the very minute we get up in orbit, we are working nonstop, about 16 to 18 hours a day. For our last mission, 14 days straight. We have a lot of stuff to do, and you know, part of the fun is doing stuff that's really complex, hadn't been done before, and getting it done well and accomplishing our objectives. But there's always some time for fun up there. You know, Colonel, in the early space missions, we got that space ice cream, we got Velcro, supposedly, although that may be an old wives' tale, I'm not sure. But what are we learning today from space? We continue every mission to learn something new or test new products? Oh, absolutely. Every mission is like a test flight. We do stuff that hasn't been done before. For example, on this last flight, we tested for the first time some repair material for the leading edge of the wings of the shuttle. We're going to go test that in a arc jet facility, a high temperature facility, to see if it worked or not. We tested the ability for astronauts to hang on the end of a 100-foot long boom and do repairs. We did some space station work, some assembly work on space station, get it back up to 3 crew members, enabled a whole bunch of science, brought a whole bunch of science on board. And that's true of every flight that we do. And you know, I suspect that there isn't a crew that trains and goes into space that doesn't think of those who didn't make it there, the Challenger crew and the rest, and the sacrifices they made, the risk-reward that goes on in your business. Absolutely. All the members of the Columbia crew were personal friends of mine, very good friends of mine. You know, you can't help but think about them as you're going up there and doing your job. But you know, they would have wanted us to go on and continue the mission. We obviously all believe that the risks The gains are worth the risk, or we wouldn't be here doing this.
Yeah, I noticed when the last shuttle went up, there was some controversy at first because there were several weather delays, which I know must be very frustrating for you. But he said, the mission director said, we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't believe it was safe. But at the same time, he said, there's always that 1%. There's always that something you don't know. And I'm sure that's in your mind as astronauts, but you're trained to deal with it.
Well, absolutely. I mean, we train to handle every contingency that we can think of. Typically, my experience as a test pilot and as astronaut is when we get into contingency situations, there's something we haven't trained for, but what we have trained is the process, how to deal with a malfunction or something that goes wrong. And space flight's an inherently dangerous business. Again, we believe the gains are worth the risks we take, so we prepare for everything we can, but you can't prepare for the unknown.
Colonel Lindsay, just before you went on, I know you told our cameraman there that this TV thing's a little bit harder than being an astronaut, right?
That's right, it is for me. There's a reason that you have professionals on TV, and there's a reason I'm not one of them.
Air Force Colonel Steve Lindsay, astronaut Lindsay, welcome home. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a break, and right now, I want you to take a look at something, though, right now. This video, look at this. This is a wildcat, a big cat in a tree, and it was, this video was taken right here in the LA area. We're going to show you where, coming up next, a little bit later, actually, on the Local Story Summer Edition. Come right back, okay?
Now showing Shoe Week at Ross with thrilling savings of 50 to 70% off department store prices. Everything from casual to dressy for men, women, and kids. Shoe Week at Ross. Hurry or you'll miss all the excitement.
NBC Tonight. You voted. Now be there for the America's Got Talent results show live.
We have an incredible show lined up for you.
Get there early at 9, 8 Central to find out who moves on to the finals.
That's the $1 million question. Who did America pick?
Then, an incredible performance by Cirque du Soleil's Zoomanity. Plus,
the Big Hasselhoff will sing.
All new America's Got Talent results show live. Starts tonight at 9, 8 Central only on NBC.
When I'm having a barbecue, I just have to make one stop, Smart and Final.
At Smart and Final, you'll find everything for your barbecue. Plates, cups, napkins, cutlery, and more. Plus, an incredible selection of beverages, all at low warehouse prices.
Don't miss the buy one, get one free sale on fresh, boneless, skinless chicken breasts, Fab laundry detergent, Deja Blue water, and more. Get smart. Smart and Final, the smaller, faster warehouse store.
Wow, is that a stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut?
Yep, the pizza you eat backwards.
Pizza Hut? Pizza stuffed crust, wow.
Backwards is back. The stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut. Melted, delicious cheese stuffed inside a golden brown crust. You just gotta eat it backwards. And it's only $9.99 for a large one topping. That's money back in your pocket. For the pizza you eat backwards, go for the good stuff. Need more pizza? Add any medium one topping for only $5 more.
How do you want your steak? Medium. You? Medium rare.
Let it go.
Is my steak okay?
A1 steak sauce. Yeah, it's that important.
Now playing the action-packed event of the year. Shoe Week at Ross. Save a whopping 50 to 70% on the top brands, featuring a huge selection of athletic shoes for men, women, and kids. Shoe Week at Ross. Don't miss out on the action.
It's about 24 minutes now before 4 o'clock. We're live in the newsroom, and I was at the assignment desk a couple weeks ago when the Benedict Canyon brush fire started. You could see the smoke from our helicopter, and you could see the smoke all over the San Fernando Valley. Well, at that time, we were talking about brush clearance, and Tony Ginyard has been looking at that situation today. She's with the goats. We saw that just a few minutes ago about how they play into this brush clearance situation. But also, there's a serious side in terms of supply and demand of manpower in terms of clearing the brush. Tony.
E.L. Ross, the goats, according to the owner of the goats, are more cost-effective, more cost-efficient way of clearing brush. Some people will argue that. But I'll tell you one thing, these goats have been used here in Malibu. They've also been used in Claremont. Be careful, Connie, you got a little goat in front of you. There you go. They've also been used in Claremont, San Pedro, all across Southern California. But that is not to say that manpower isn't needed. Just a few miles away, there is a Malibu labor exchange. It's an area where men, primarily day laborers, can come and sit and wait. It is sanctioned by the city. It is something that has been established years ago, I believe 10 years ago, and these men are really the direct competition with these goats. But they say at times they have to come in and clean up after the goats, meaning they have to clean the big brush. The goats can eat the poisonous weeds. The men come in after, clear more brush if needed. And I spoke with the director of the Malibu Labor Exchange about this competition between man and beast. Oscar Mondragon had this to say.
We have given thousands of jobs here to workers and serve the community through fires, floods, and brush clearance and all those kind of things.
And you know I'm talking about brush clearance today. How many times do you have people stopping by looking for someone to work on brush clearance on their home?
Every summer.
And how much are these gentlemen able to charge for brush clearance?
There's two ways how they charge. One, they can go and say, I'll give you an estimate for this kind of property. I charge you so much. Or I charge about $10, $15, $12, $11 an hour. It changes a lot. This year we saw some of the homeowners came paying the works about $12 an hour, $13 an hour.
That's over minimum wage, too.
By far it is. The work is hard. It's not being like a McDonald's or place like that. We're talking about being on a hill, steep, facing those little rattlesnakes and things like that. So you got to be careful. It's a hard work.
How much do you charge for jobs?
Depends for jobs. I can charge $12, $10, or $15. Depends on the job.
Are people surprised by how much you're charging?
Some of them, but some people pay the money.
Do you have frustration over the political aspects of day labor sites, and we don't want it here, we do want it here, those people should go back home?
You know, history repeats itself. That happens to so many different people here, other background, I mean, Italians, half of Italians to the Irish. What I see nowadays is that, yes, they happen to be mostly from Latin America, but we need them. And we need them, and we need them. You may say, well, but at the end of everything, they come to perform a job that people need, and they come to work for their families. That's the bottom line. What's more American than that?
There you go. That's one man's opinion. Clearly in Malibu, with the establishment of the labor exchange and the influx of goats here for brush clearance, the people who live in this area, at least, have found a happy medium, accepting both groups. Ross?
And I know we're going to talk about this a little bit later, too, but I just want to say it now. As I drive around, and you do, too, there are still hillsides that need brush clearance. I really don't want to have to cover brush fires out there. I know you don't want to have to cover brush fires, so the reminder is get it done, right?
You bet. You have to get it done. And even if you have to have a little argument with your neighbors, get it done. If your city or municipality is interested in hiring the goats, they're busy. The couple who owns the goats will end up being here probably about 2-3 years at a time because they're so busy.
Tony Ginyard, thanks. We're going to check back with you. I know we've got some fun stuff coming up in just a second. All right, we're going to be back with you, too, on the Local Story Summer Edition coming up. We still have more time. Oh, it's hot back east, but just let them swelter. We've got beautiful weather, don't we? You're going to find out more about that on the Channel 4 News at 5 o'clock. But right now, we're going to be back with you in just a second right here live in the newsroom at 3. See you in a minute.
Ellen's Dancing with the Stars. First up, Jason Biggs and Minnie Driver.
I don't know who's going to win, but let's just say one of us dances every day.
Then, Dancing with the Stars champion Drew Lachey. Next, Ellen.
Today at 4 on NBC 4.
Today at 5, a prickly problem. Hundreds of dying sea urchins wash into Southland tide pools. What's wrong with the water that's killing so many? A live report. Then, help for a painful injury that often strikes new moms. Dr. Bruce with the treatment to keep you a hands-on mother. Today at 5.
It's back to school, and Best Buy's got what kids need to succeed. Like laptops with fingerprint scanners for extra security. Convertible notebooks that let you jot notes directly on the screen for new ways to learn. and media center computers that let you record, watch, and pause live TV. Check out the Gateway Convertible Notebook with dual-core technology. It's a perfect blend of performance and creativity. Save big for back to school, now at Best Buy.
Are you dreaming? Because suddenly you're flying. You're a daredevil, a death-defying motorcycle daredevil, whizzing through the air, past amazing sights. You're moving and grooving. It's not a dream. It's Ringling Brothers as you've never seen it before.
Now playing the Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim through Sunday, August 6th. Don't miss the final Southland appearance. Get your tickets today.
Hi, I'm the person who didn't save hundreds of dollars by switching car insurance. Yep, I'm the guy. Must be, because every day they tell me about a bazillion people who switched on TV, radio, billboards.
They show me entire stadiums worth of people who switched.
But Progressive Direct shows you side-by-side comparisons of competitors' rates and services, so you can see if their services are worth the savings. Those gazillion people should call Progressive, because no one likes to be wrong. Think easier. Think Progressive.
Southern California. No other news team covers your hometown better.
Do you understand that the police are looking for you?
What have you done to fight gang violence?
The Channel 4 News.
How could you have 12 pumps that are not accurate?
The violence in the Middle East is rapidly escalating.
Trust experience.
As you can see, these homes are completely decimated when the fire comes through here.
It was like a tsunami, but all red.
Trust Southern California's news leader.
This is exactly what the firefighters had feared.
Trust the Channel 4 News.
All right, we're back live in the newsroom, and we're checking in with the assignment desk here. There have been some stories breaking this afternoon. We had a sheriff's deputy that has been found, a former sheriff's deputy, found guilty in federal court of fondling a woman. He got 30 years for that. We'll have more on that, of course, later on today as well. And they're monitoring the police radios here. Jack, anything significant?
There is a news story. We've been keeping an eye on a story involving an 80-year-old woman who was found dead in her condo in Glendale, and we've been monitoring that story all day.
Okay, yeah, just a mystery at this point as to what...
Yeah, what's happened is the police have turned it into a murder investigation. Okay. They're holding a 4 o'clock news conference. We've sent Pat Healy up there, and we'll have a report at 5 o'clock.
That's going to make really a big ripple in the Glendale community. Crime in Glendale usually amounts to break-ins and small things, certainly not homicides, or at least in my memory, I haven't heard about homicides in Glendale in a long time. The other thing I want to mention, and we're going to hopefully get him up in the next 15 minutes, Paul Rodriguez Jr., those of you who know skateboarding certainly know that name. We are trying to get a live interview with him coming up in just a minute. We tried to get it this segment, but apparently he's being mobbed outside the Home Depot Center where they're doing some practicing for the Extreme Games today. Hopefully we can get him up for you in the next couple of minutes. In the meantime, I want you to look at something that we showed you a little bit of it before. Some big cat sightings near some local homes. Do we have that video? Yeah, there it is right there. This picture was recorded on a video phone by our promotions guy, Robert Duersboer, roaming around the Laurel Canyon neighborhood yesterday, just hanging in the trees. Also yesterday, parts of the 210 freeway and nearby streets in Sunland were shut down as authorities hunted for a mountain lion. Customers claimed they saw a mountain lion in a restaurant in Sunland. Both of these animals, both that bobcat right there and that alleged mountain lion that they saw in or near a restaurant, well, they're both still on the loose right now, probably back up into the mountains. But hey, that's another warning for you. Those wild animals are going to come down in your backyard. You got to be watch out for small children and pets as well. And all right, we're going to take a break, and hopefully we can get P-Rod on the end of a live camera. If so, you're going to meet him, talk to him, along with me for the first time. We'll be right back on the Local Story Summer Edition.
On August 6th at 10 a.m., 300 chosen people will see a sign from God.
My father was diagnosed with colon cancer. We had a miracle happen. He was completely healed.
My older sister, she's 21 months older than I am. We were never close our whole life. I hadn't seen her in 8 years. Through my faith in God and my experience and what I've learned, we are reunited and we love each other.
I was diagnosed with cirrhosis of the liver. I was given 6 months to a year to live. With the prayers that I received, I live in faith, and through my faith, I no longer need the transplant, and I'm doing fine now. I'm doing well.
Can one event change your life? Need a sign? Be there. On Eagle Rock at 4884 Eagle Rock Boulevard.
It's the big one at Kohl's, our biggest sale of the season with 2 big days of savings plus power hours. Night Owl save extra Friday, early bird save extra Saturday. Like 60% on all juniors sew knit tops, 50 to 60% on graphic tees, and 50 to 60% on Mrs. Sportswear. The big one bath towel is just $2.99. And get an extra 10% off all backpacks, already 25 to 50% off. Plus get this digital camera for just $129.99.
Really big, really, really big.
It's the big one this Friday and Saturday only. Kohl's, expect great things.
Shop for new flooring without ever leaving home. Call Empire today. We'll bring hardwood laminate and ceramic tile samples to your home in rich natural tones to match every decor. And no waiting. Empire installs next day. Best of all, you'll save with warehouse direct prices plus no payments till 2008. Shop at home, next day installation, and no payments till 2008. It's the Empire way to shop for flooring. Call now.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
When you're entertaining, there seems to be one thing you never have enough of: beverages. That's why I go to Smart & Final. You can't beat the selection. Sodas, water, wine, beer, energy, and sports drinks. And because of the low warehouse prices, I get to stock up on everything I need, and then I get to enjoy my party, too.
Save on Coke or Pepsi. 4 6-packs just $5.99. Miller Coors Butter Tecate Beer 30-pack only $16.99. Get Smart. Smart & Final, the smaller, faster warehouse store.
All right, look who we have in the monitor. They're getting ready for Paul Rodriguez Jr. He may be already be hooked up, but, you know, this is big business everywhere. On the streets, huge arenas, and probably in your son's bedroom or your daughter's bedroom as well. Skateboarding, they say, is not only a sport, it's a way of life. And joining me, one of those people who's chosen it for a way of life, and that's Paul Rodriguez Jr., P-Rod, right?
Yep.
Hey, how was practice today?
Oh, it was fun, man. I had a blast skating with all my friends. It was good.
Yeah, practice is a lot more fun than competition, isn't it?
Yeah, the nervous undertone isn't there during practice.
Nervous undertone. I'll tell you what. Paul Rodriguez Jr. Now, that name sounds familiar, doesn't it?
I guess so.
Yeah, Paul Rodriguez does. Tell me about,
Yes.
did your dad, Paul Rodriguez, of course, actor, comedian. We've known, matter of fact, I spent an afternoon with him one day, and him and Kirstie Alley down at a health fair had a great time. He's the funniest man in the world, and I assume you got a little bit of his sense of humor.
One more time, sorry. That
I
last
assume you
part.
got a little bit of his sense of humor.
You know what? I didn't get too much on the brains factor there. I don't got the wits he got. I got it more in the physical department.
When did he get you? When did he get you your first skateboard?
I'd say when I was around almost 12 years old, like a few weeks before my 12th birthday. It was pretty much. I saved up my lunch money. He didn't even necessarily buy it. I mean, he bought it for me in the fact that he gave me all my lunch money, and I saved it up and got me a skateboard and saved Christmas money and stuff like that.
So when did this turn into a business for you?
Let me see here. Probably when I was like 17 is when I turned pro, and that's when things really started picking up as far as business-wise. And
now you had a hard time getting to the seat to do this interview because of all the groupies you had around you, right?
A little bit.
This is a perfect job for you, isn't it?
Man, I'm so blessed. I can't even say. It's just my life right now. To me, I trip out on it all the time. It's insane. Like,
all right,
just growing up normal, and all of a sudden, I'm here talking to you.
All right, listen. The Extreme Games coming up. Good luck in those games.
Thank you very much.
And I know a lot of people are going to be cheering for you, rooting for you, checking you out. And make sure you get some security around you next time, all right?
All right.
All right. Paul Rodriguez Jr., P-Rod, thanks for joining us.
Take care.
All righty. The Local Story Summer Edition, him joining us right now. Thanks for being with us and seeing that. But we have more to come. That's right. The hour's not over yet. We're going to be back in just a minute and maybe see a few more goats. We'll be right back.
Coming up at 5, mystery off the Southern California coast. We now know what may be killing hundreds of sea urchins in our local waters, a live report. Then, new hope for a painful condition that often strikes new moms. A brand new treatment, how it can keep busy mothers hands-on. And going green while remaining fast and furious. How one local man is turning classic hot rods into environmentally friendly clean machines. Plus, first his wife went missing after a trip to Las Vegas. Now, new developments in the case. He's nowhere to be found. The very latest, next at 5.
Why pay 3 times as much at a department store when you can buy the exact same outfit at Ross? Ross, there's no comparison.
How does a sleep number bed restore us? During deep sleep, the unconscious takes over to perform mind-body maintenance. So your mind feels free to say, come on, let's do it. While your body can say, nah, you go ahead without me. 88% of you sleep in this state longer with a sleep number bed. Just set your side to the firmness level that's your individual heaven on earth. Or off. Where will your sleep number take you tonight? Find it at your local Select Comfort store.
At Popeyes, we don't sell no wimpy shrimp. Ours are big, bold, butterfly shrimp. Now you can make them extra flavorful with your choice of dipping sauce, sweet heat, blazing buffalo, or our notorious boss sauce. For a limited time, just $4.99. Popeyes, aye, poppin' flavor. For more bold flavor, get 13 pieces of our crispy legs and thighs for just $9.99.
Barbecue. In America, we do everything big. But if you're overweight like me, you're at risk of developing diabetes. And that's more serious than you think.
If you're overweight and between the ages of 35 and 75, call 1-866-9-TO-DETECT. You may qualify for a free health evaluation and a diabetes prevention research study. That's 1-866-9-TO-DETECT or visit todetect.com. Call today.
Why pay over twice as much at a department store when you can buy the exact same outfit at Ross? Ross, there's no comparison.
Hi, we're back, and we're going to check with Mac Medina. Macalo Medina. I tripped over my own tongue there. News Raw. And I tell you what, we were just talking with Paul Rodriguez Jr., a huge star in skateboarding, and there's a lot on skateboarding on the blogs, isn't there?
Well, a lot about P-Rod Jr. on the blogs, too. I've actually learned this within the last few minutes after looking up P-Rod, but the skateboarding industry is $6 billion
Isn't it crazy?
industry. And this kid has certainly made a lot of inroads within the industry. You know, not only is he Paul Rodriguez's son, but he dropped out of high school to pursue the career of skateboarding. And a lot of kids are actually looking up to him, saying there is a future in skateboarding. Say if college is not the route you want to take.
Well, and it's true. I mean, I saw an interview with him earlier about that, and that was a very controversial thing even within their family. Yeah. But he knew that he could make millions and millions of dollars in a sport, just like many of the basketball players do these days.
There's another web blogger who said something like, I wish I was this kid. Making that much money, having that much popularity at 17. That's a good day.
You know, the truth is, though, there is work in it. And he was practicing today, and he does practice a lot more than he has fun. So it is, you make a lot of money, but it is a lot of work.
Yeah, and there's some pictures that are posted online of him right now.
Well, this weekend, the Extreme Games, it's going to be at the Staples Center and at the Home Depot Center. Maybe we can, what does that say? Poster child?
That he's a poster child for kids who may lack a father figure.
Well, that's
and his
true.
success in the sport can be inspired to anyone. And he talked about that a little bit. He talked about how his father really didn't play a big role in the skateboarding thing. He kind of took the lead on that. But, you know, I'm sure his father is very supportive right now.
Sure.
There's a good chance you might see Paul Rodriguez Sr. at this thing over the weekend.
I'm sure he'll be there.
Yeah.
All right. Sure. Mac, thanks a lot. All right, I've got something else here I want to talk to you about. Let me go back to home base, and I'll turn around, and then I'll tell you. We had the lady on before at her son. The son was involved with the, we get just people walking past here, that's fine. That's them leaving the blog area, by the way. Remember the wheelchair that was stolen? The guy's name is Jordan, and he had a wheelchair. Go ahead, Mac. The wheelchair was stolen. Anyway, we put the Linwood Sheriff's Station. There's a lot going on here. Linwood Sheriff's phone number on. Just got a note. I walked over there and I said, Cindy, call Linwood Sheriff. See what's going on. And apparently, I can put this mic down, by the way. Apparently, the Linwood Sheriff's Station has gotten quite a few phone calls since we've been on the air about the stolen $8,000 wheelchair for Jordan. And the station, the sheriff's station, they are offering to help with donations to help buy another wheelchair, and the detectives now have left the station, and they are doing something they didn't do before. They are canvassing the neighborhood, seeing if anyone saw anything. So apparently they had taken the report that this was stolen, but never talked to neighbors, never talked to anyone in the neighborhood to see if they saw this stolen wheelchair anywhere. They're out doing that right now, apparently because they saw the interview here. And they're also receiving a lot of phone calls from people offering help with donations to get Jordan a new wheelchair. All right, Tony Ginyard is with us now. She has been hanging around the goats all day. And, you know, these goats, they're cute, they're fun, but boy.
That's what you think.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, you ran into some really, well, let's call them rambunctious goats, didn't you?
You know, Sarah Bunton told me this is like having 252-year-olds. They do what they want to do. They do listen. They tell on each other. She said this is their extended family. She and her husband, Hugh, are incredible when you watch them work with these goats. And I had a little trouble doing the interviews for this story. Take a look. Oh, I was told my story isn't even in, and that's my fault once again. Just take a look around you. You see these goats. They look pretty nice and quiet right now. Hugh, come down here and talk to me for a moment. Sarah's husband is here, making his way down. This gentleman is actually by trade an archaeologist who has met, as he says, in another life. Sarah told me yesterday these goats are all named. Why do you name them? And point out a few of them for me.
We name them usually if they need a name, so that we can talk about them rather than saying it's that brown-headed white goat.
Okay, tell me who these are.
Well, this is Leo, and this is Dorothy, and this is Petey, and that's Jumper.
And who's making noise?
A little new guy who hasn't had to have a name yet.
Oh.
This is your life. You love this work, do you not?
I do. It's making an old man out of me, though. I'm really only 50.
You look good for your age. Let's not even go there. I spent some time with you earlier this week and then came back because we were amazed at the science of this.
Yes.
Is this something that can be good for every area as far as brush clearance?
No. No, probably not every area.
Oh, somebody's eating my cable. Okay, there you go. Who is that?
That's L.A.
L.A., typical.
Mr. L.A. There are areas that are probably better suited to other methods, mechanical and humans.
But right now, it's all about the goats. Hey, Ross.
All right, Tony.
Love this story, but I've had enough. Back to you.
I understand. Before a goat eats through another cable.
I'm done.
We're back
I'm
here.
so done.
Yeah, you're done.
Burned on.
Back here live in the newsroom now. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday. We're almost to the end of the week, and we'll be back with you tomorrow at 3 o'clock live right here in the Channel 4 newsroom with all the TV sets turned up real loud so you hear an echo. Bye.
Today, Ellen's Dancing with the Stars. First up, Jason Biggs and Minnie Driver. Each take on the dancing prowess of Ellen.
I don't know who's going to win, but let's just say one of us dances every day.
Who do you think will win first prize? Then, Dancing with the Stars champion Drew Lachey shows them how it's done. Plus, when Ellen said bobsled and luge, Sherry Shepard said,
Who told me to get on the bobsled?
Ellen starts right now. Here she is now, Ellen DeGeneres.
I say, oh! Back at you. I appreciate it. this is good to start off this way. You feel like, well, I feel a simpatico among us. I feel there's a lot in common. We're all here in the same room because we all love TV, and that's some people don't. Some people, I don't look at TV. I don't own one. I say, well, what's wrong with you? Is what I say. I read or whatever, and. I'll admit it, I like TV, and I like reality TV, which is even more controversial. People, you know that they're lying. They say I don't like it, but they're watching. And that's why today, because it's so popular, we're going to add a dash of reality to our show today. Not that this isn't reality, but you know my name is not Ellen, right? We're going to have a little competition throughout the show. You'll see what I'm talking about later, and then when it's all over, we're going to have the most dramatic medal ceremony ever. Ever. That's what they say all the time that's how they get you to watch to the end, you know? Are you watching The Bachelor? Do you know what I'm talking about? Well, they say it's always the most dramatic rose ceremony ever. This week, I don't know if you watched it, it really was dramatic. There are 3 women left, Sarah, Moaya, and Susan. And Travis gave Susan the boot. And yeah, I talked about, he was on the show the other day, and I didn't think he was going to pick Susan. And the thing about reality shows is they get you talking about it because you get invested. You watch these people, you feel like you know them, and you decide if you like them or not. Now, I don't know Susan. For all I know, she could be a very nice person. She's not, but she could be.